So I go shopping on some mattresses, obviously. Then I get retargeted on Instagram and Facebook. And it shows me not just the mattress that I looked at, but also mattresses that are comparative to the mattress that I was looking at. So I actually enjoyed the ads because it kind of did the work for me. It kind of looked at other options that I wouldn't have maybe looked at before. You never see that on LinkedIn.
We're going to have to get used to facial recognition in our lives. There's no opting out. And if you're traveling globally, you're going to have to share your biometric data. You're going to have to put your passport in. They're going to have to scan your face. All that shit's happening, right? Along with CCTV, there's going to be nowhere to hide.
Two guys just wishing Prince William would return our phone calls. Hey, boys and girls, it's the Chad and Cheese Podcast. I'm your co-host, Joel Oshag Hennessy Cheeseman.
And this is Chad, enemy of the state, Sowash.
And on this episode, LinkedIn ad performance, Google's watching, and women are embracing robot boyfriends. Let's do this.
Hospitality is the heart of our society. It brings people together to share great food, drinks, and experiences. But successfully managing a restaurant or hotel is no easy feat. That's where Harri comes in. Harri is the frontline employee experience platform that helps you build, manage, and engage great teams. With Harri, managers can easily find and hire top talent, manage timekeeping, and communicate with employees at any time from any place. Candidates and team members can quickly and efficiently apply for jobs, swap shifts, and access important information entirely from their mobile devices. And Harri's robust employee engagement tools make team members feel more connected than ever. With Harri, as an owner or operator, you get a bird's eye view of your business, from turnover cost, labor cost, employee sentiment, compliance risk, and team performance. Run your business better by understanding the power of your people. Because when your team is the heart of your business, Harri is the heartbeat. See how it transforms your business.
Oh, so Spain won, right? I saw that.
Yep.
Are you happy
Spain
about that, or
tonight.
you're good?
Yeah. Definitely happy about that because France has not played well, so Spain. Then we got Netherlands, England tonight. Hopefully, Netherlands win, but either way, I believe Spain's going to come out. They've performed incredibly well throughout the entire tournament.
Yeah, I love that we're having dinner at the House of Commons with This Way Global and Lord Nat Way, and the only thing between the English match is us. So I'm sure people will be more than excited to listen to a couple dumbass Americans while their beloved team is warming up for a big game.
Yeah, hopefully we can get in and get out, and then at least watch the second half. That's all I got to say. So, how was Ireland? That's the important thing. How was Cole in Guinness?
Yeah, it's anarchy in the UK and Ireland, baby. We've had a great time. First day, I'm a big history tour guy, so we went to there's a Viking museum in Dublin, so we did that. Huh? We hit up a concert. The first night we were here, saw a band called Block Party that people may or may not know, but went to the Three Arena, did that. Next day, took a bus tour to the north, went to Belfast, the Causeway, Giant's Causeway, saw some castles, came back the next day, went out west to Galway, Cliffs of Moher. It's a very magical place. I guess you could just qualify this as my shout out because my shout out is to Ireland anyway. It's just if you haven't been to the Emerald Isle, it's just a really cool, laid back, magical place. Yeah. And like most places, it's about the people. And so I'm in Ireland, I'm posting where I am, and I literally get Shane Gray, Max Armbruster, Dave Ralph, and James Malley all message me and say, wow, you're in town. What can we do? Can we hook up? Can we connect? You want to stay in my guest room? Like the people, the Irish people and the Scotch people, the Scots and the Irish are just the best people. And it makes a fun place that much more fun in Ireland. So if you haven't made it to the Emerald Isle, I can't recommend it more. Wonderful place. Wonderful place. I know you love it too.
Oh, we definitely love it. And we did a little bit more planning, I think, more than you did before we got here. We stayed a few days visiting friends in Stamford,
Yep.
which is, I mean, just beautiful. Burley House. I mean, talk about decadence. I mean, history, decadence, just in these homes, the Lord's homes. We're going to see a Lord tonight. Lord Burley had that one. Then we stayed a night in Falkingham, which they actually say is Fuckingham.
Sure.
With friends. Beautiful, amazing country. Again, magnificent houses, churches, history. Then we made our way down here to Stevenage, and that's where we are today. Later today, you and I are scheduled to speak at the Global Talent Leader Summit that RecFest is actually putting on.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about AI. Then later tonight, This Way Global has us having dinner, believe that, at the House of Commons. Yes, people, a proper British Parliament event, and we're invited. Who the hell saw that happening? Thanks to our friends at This Way Global. Then tomorrow we're on stage with Lord Nat Way talking about how to train people to be pretty much to have a more nimble workforce around AI and ready for AI. And then we're emceeing the Disrupt stage the rest of the day, and hopefully we don't get any rain. So let's hold the rain off. We've had enough thus far. But yeah, really excited to be in the UK. Love England, the people, obviously Ireland. Can't wait to get back there. When we do, don't worry, that list of people, we'll see you all, and I'll be staying in your guest room, I promise.
Yeah, he will. He will. Don't worry. By the way, we haven't made it past security yet. Let's not get too excited about going to the House of Commons when we haven't made it past security. I'm still skeptical that we can do that. But what I'm not a skeptic about, Chad, is free shit for our listeners. Tell them about what they can win by being a fan of the show.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, you can't win if you don't play. And the only way that you can play is if you register at chadcheese.com/free. That's right. It's free. And you can win t-shirts from Aaron App. Sexy, beautiful, comforting t-shirts that everybody wants. Let's just be truthful here.
Yep.
Beer, craft beer. And I've been drinking a lot of craft beer since I've been here, by the way. Craft beer from Aspen Tech Labs. One person a month wins craft beer to their doorstep. Whiskey, 2 bottles of whiskey from our friends at Text Kernel. Yes, Joel and I are a big fan, not of just the craft beer, but of the whiskey. Thank you, Aspen Tech Labs and Text Kernel. And obviously, if it is your birthday, you might win some rum with...
Really? Can you feel the tension in the air right now? I know I can. I can feel it all the way down on my plums.
Chad, as you know, we did birthdays last week, so we're going to skip over that as we're traveling. But I will take a second to remind people that fantasy football is back, everybody. That's right. Our friends at Factory Fix are upping for year number 3 to support fantasy football. So be on the lookout for alerts and signups for one of my favorite events during the year, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, and real quick, just a sidebar. Shout out to everybody. Topics. I'll finish that thought. Shout out to everybody who wants more of our content on YouTube. I'm getting DMs all the time about, hey, you guys have half your content coming on YouTube. Okay, guys, we do 3 to 4 podcasts a week. The migration process, not to mention costs and all that other fun stuff for video, a little bit different than audio. So we're migrating that way. We have over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, but if you want more of the Chad and Cheese, definitely go to Chad Cheese on YouTube, the Chad and Cheese podcast. Subscribe. We're going to be doing more migration of more content there. And I appreciate everybody asking for it. We'll give you more.
That's right. The kids love their video. That's for sure.
I know.
People think we're Fortune 500 and like we have a warehouse where we ship out shirts. Like we don't. We have a basement closet and a 14-year-old girl shipping stuff. And video's a little more involved than throwing out some audio. So yeah, be patient with us. Everybody.
A little bit.
Show us some grace. All right, now you're ready to get into topics.
Yes.
Let's play it again. What the hell?
Topics.
All right, who's ready for a little social media I don't know what I'm going to call it. Face Off, Clash, Cocktail. Yeah, whatever it is. We're playing the bell. All right. A listener messaged Chad recently saying in an advertising test on cost per thousand, Meta came in at $1.16 to LinkedIn's $37.26. That's cost per thousand, everybody. The listener added they spent a little more on LinkedIn and got 7,700 impressions compared to 125,000 impressions on Meta, Insta, and the entire Meta network. More social confrontation. Threads, Meta's rival to X, formerly known as Twitter, now has over 175 million active users, challenging X's dominance despite fluctuations in user engagement. They are celebrating their anniversary this week. Chad, what are your thoughts on the social media clash?
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead. Boss said it was fine. So Boss van de Hadrid, who runs the Digital Verven conference, started an early stage branding campaign last month in June for his October 15th event. You know, build the brand, talk about some cool shit, and then start selling some tickets a few months later, right? Mm-hmm. So it's literally that brand building kind of campaign that you want to do. So he started using Meta and LinkedIn in parallel. And as you talked about, the results were dramatically different. Boss thought that using LinkedIn would be more targeted in recruitment and thus more effective, knowing that the audience and his audience are just about the same, on LinkedIn. But the targeting seemed to be incredibly rudimentary and ineffective. But the biggest issue were the outcomes, which you talked about. Meta's outcome, €1.16 cost per thousand. In LinkedIn, €37.26 cost per thousand. I mean, that is a huge difference. So basically, if we take a look at it, LinkedIn has been moving more toward big marketing, or at least that's what it's seemingly looking like. Mm-hmm. And if they can't get their core audience right, which they were built for what? Connections, but it turned into a recruiting, talent acquisition play, networking play. But if they can't get that right, how in the hell can they get the big advertising, big marketing right? I don't think they can. And even though they are owned by Microsoft, we haven't really seen much of a bump in innovation from LinkedIn. We've seen things that they've thrown at the wall and they've they've pulled very quickly. But we're not seeing the innovation that we thought from LinkedIn that that we anticipated.
We thought we would, and we thought we should, frankly, see out of LinkedIn after being acquired by Microsoft and this little thing called OpenAI. Yeah, I mean,
$26 billion.
Yeah, my big three reasons why Meta is a superior advertising platform is, number one, Meta's just smarter. The targeting's better. I'll give you a quick example. I just bought my 84-year-old dad a new mattress. Okay. So I go shopping on some mattresses, obviously. Then I get retargeted on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah. And it shows me not just the mattress that I looked at, but also mattresses that are comparative to the mattress that I was looking at. So I actually enjoyed the ads because it kind of did the work for me. It kind of looked at other options that I wouldn't have maybe looked at before. You never see that on LinkedIn. You never see, like, I clicked on a white paper download for iSIMS, and now I start seeing all of iSIM's competitors. Like, it just, you don't see it. So Meta is way smarter than anything else. Better usage, better reach. Number two, Meta has 4 billion active monthly users, almost the internet using world, basically. LinkedIn has 1.5 billion monthly users. Now, X is a little more competitive at about 2.5 billion users per month. The problem with X is it's toxic. The risk that my ad is going to be next to a swastika or a white hood is not a good look for an advertising campaign. So until X figures that out, I don't see that happening at all. So your reach is going to be way more engaged, and the reach is just far more better on Meta. Number three is the ads are just better. I don't know what it is, but people are advertising on LinkedIn as if it's 2010, and I'm selling ebooks and white papers, literally like static, no movement, they're just awful. And if Instagram, they're engaging ads, they're funny. Like, it's okay to be entertaining on LinkedIn. Look, I can post a GIF of a cat, swatting at another cat's head and say this cat is LinkedIn, or this cat is Indeed, and this cat is the staffing industry, and it gets 3,000 views. Like, people are okay having a good time on LinkedIn. You don't need the stock photograph, the boring presentation. Like, they're just better ads on those platforms. So for the fact that Meta's smarter, there's better reach and usage, and just better ads on the platform make Meta a superior advertising platform. And until LinkedIn figures that out, and X gets the racists and the fringes off the advertising sections of the site, it's going to remain that way. So Meta is no surprise to me. In my own businesses, when I've advertised, I mean, Meta is superior, better retargeting. It's just better. It's cost effective, way more cost effective, and I'm sure people that are spending real money are seeing the same thing.
Yeah, and then you take a look at Threads, getting up to 175 million after the first year.
Yeah,
nearly seamless integration into Instagram, which is brilliant, and it's also somewhat of a mirage because I can post to Facebook and Threads via Instagram and never ever open the app, but I do because beyond the Instagram photos, it's like Twitter for happy people. Right. Yeah. It's like if you want to be enraged, you go to Twitter. If you want to be happy, you go to Instagram, TikTok, or Threads. And Threads is, to me, more of the happy people, Twitter. And that's why I go there. I'll probably go there once or twice a day. On Instagram, probably once or twice a day. But yeah, at the end of it, I mean, I don't go to Twitter, but maybe once a week, if that. And that's just to check to see if somebody sent me something on a DM.
Yeah, Meta does a fantastic job of integrating Threads into Instagram and Facebook. So, and they know the threads that I'm most engaged with. So it shows me those users in my Instagram. So inevitably, I go over to Threads to see what Professor Galloway said, or Kara Swisher, or somebody that I enjoy reading, and then I'm there. Then I'm scrolling up and down what's going on, and so it's just this infinite loop that LinkedIn hasn't done or can do, and X certainly doesn't seem interested in doing until they make their super app. Elon tells me there's a super app and a LinkedIn killer coming soon, so we'll keep our eye on that.
Super racist white supremacist app coming to you soon.
All right, man, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with some more news. All right, Chad. A lot of companies have gotten some financing recently, but one company kind of caught our attention. QuantumRise has secured $15 million in seed funding. The company is founded by Alex Kelleher, who was recognized for his previous work with Cognitive Match, an ad optimization solution that was eventually acquired by Magnetic in 2014, I believe. QuantumRise says it combines the best in human ability with the full power of AI. Sounds pretty nerdy to me, Chad. What caught your attention about this startup?
Well, first and foremost, it's about time consulting got a makeover. I mean, it's been the same shit forever. This from the TechCrunch article, quote, potential market opportunity for AI-driven automation. Consulting giant BCG expects to generate a fifth of its revenue in 2024 from helping corporations integrate AI, and 40% by 2026, end quote. I personally believe that's a lowball number. I think that this consulting area is going to be much higher. QuantumRise CEO Alex Kelleher says, quote, the number of CEOs of these $300 million companies who don't know where to start is enormous, end quote. They need help, and they don't have the cash to go to Deloitte, right? Yep. So I posted on LinkedIn that HR tech needs one of these, hint, hint, right? And the amount of people that either commented or DM'd me was ridiculous. We're doing this already. And then you check out the company, right? Or a company that they referenced. And it doesn't say that at all. Now,
Yeah.
I know companies like Paradox and Fountain, through their integration, their onboarding process, they do this kind of like added value consulting to ensure that the client uses the product correctly, right? Which is just incredibly smart. But that's not actually a revenue driving solution for either of those companies. So there is an opportunity that's out there for a standalone position or solution. And, I think our buddy Matt Lavery from UPS should lead that company. He's done massive, huge automation, projects for UPS, like hiring 100,000 people in 6 weeks, right?
Yep.
We have incredibly smart people in this arena of HR and AI tech, but we need consulting experts who have done this before. And I know people say that it's already happening out there. I don't see it, kids. I just don't see it. And we need it. And it's a huge gap in the market, and there could be a shit ton of cash there.
So going back to, the gold rush as an example, a lot of the money was not made in digging for gold. It was in selling picks and shovels to help people do as much digging as they possibly could. You have a lot of companies buying AI services and then buying and realizing, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Or, yes, they onboarded me for this product, but how does it integrate with everything else I use? How does it play with this other stuff that I'm using? And there's a huge opportunity. The CEO got it right in that there's a ton of, let's call it $100 million to $600-700 million companies that don't want to pay Deloitte for this, but will pay a QuantumRise to help me figure out my AI solutions and how to make all these things play together. The question is there's opportunity here. You mentioned HR tech. There should be an HR tech consultancy like QuantumRise that is just, we'll help you get all your employment shit figured out. And back in my SEO days, there was Google certification. If you wanted to learn pay-per-click advertising, you could be certified in that, and people knew if they were hiring you, you were certified by Google. So at some point, when do these AI companies say, here's our product, and here's a list of consultants that are certified in our product offering. And by the way, they're also certified in this solution and this platform and this job site and this sourcing tool, and have someone come in or a service come in and help people figure this shit out. It's a huge opportunity because everyone's buying AI stuff, but I don't know what the hell all this stuff does, and I will pay for somebody to help me figure it out. It's a huge opportunity, and I think
I need it.
Yeah, it'll be like layers. You'll have niche sites that just do industries. You'll have a big site like QuantumRise that's sort of that middle layer. Then obviously the IBMs, the Deloittes. So yeah, definitely, kids, if you're looking for a new job or a new business opportunity, think about becoming an expert in HR tech, AI solution integration, onboarding, et cetera. It is definitely a strong opportunity.
Agreed.
And those that aren't doing it, well,
You done messed up, AA.
can't help you. All right, let's go to Google. They're testing a facial recognition technology at their Washington site to, quote, enhance security and identify unauthorized individuals, end quote. The program compares images from employee badge photos with those captured by interior security cameras. Not quite computer chips injected into your neck, Chad, but what says you about this move by Google?
So if you haven't seen the 1998 movie Enemy of the State with Will Smith and Gene Hackman, find it and watch it now. It's gonna be very eerie in what you're starting to see in society today. So this story and quote from our friends over at hrgrapevine.com, quote, a Google internal document states that the image data collected by the system is strictly for immediate use and not stored, end quote. Yet, quote, earlier in the testing process, which you talked about, facial data was compared against images from employee badges, which workers could opt out of, but Google spokesperson said the company is no longer using the ID badge images, end quote. Okay, so if Google isn't using a base badge image information and they aren't storing biometric data, what the actual fuck are they using for the data for this recognition software? All in all, we're all going to have to get used to facial recognition being in our lives. Before I was saying Google was lying for anybody who missed that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to get used to facial recognition in our lives. There's no opting out. And if you're traveling globally, you're going to have to share your biometric data. You're going to have to put your passport in. They're going to have to scan your face. All that shit's happening, right? Along with CCTV, there's going to be nowhere to hide. So don't worry. The courts won't allow this, right? Wrong. Judge Lewis Kaplan of the Southern District of New York has actually sided with Madison Square Garden, allowing them to utilize facial recognition to bar attorneys who are suing their company from any events in Madison Square Gardens. That's right. No New York Knicks games, no Taylor Swift. We have your biometric data and your band. Get the fuck out of here, right? So this is very dystopian, and the courts are backing this whole movement. I think it's crazy. I think it's almost ridiculous, especially after what we saw with HireView. But man, it's coming. It is coming. It's already here.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
So I love the employees can opt out if they want to. What employee is going to be like, no, man, I don't want you tracking me. Like, oh, really? What are you up to? Like, what are you doing that you don't want to be tracked? We got to watch you more than the ones we are actually tracking. I mean, very few, if any, employees are going to opt out of this because they're going to look shady. They're going to look like, the black sheep of the staff. Look, we're in a world where we're trading privacy for safety. I was just in Singapore. There are cameras everywhere. There are no cops anywhere. I mean, if that's the world you want to live in, I get it. I get it. And if you don't commit crime, if you're not doing the bad things, you might look at that and say, that sounds like a pretty good world. I can walk around the street at night. I got cameras everywhere. They're doing biometrics. So they're seeing, is there a bad guy around or someone's going to cause trouble? So on the surface, it looks great. Now, you mentioned our friend Boss, who lives in the Netherlands. Well, the Netherlands is famous for a girl named Anne Frank, a Jewish 13-year-old, I believe, who was in hiding, was found by the Nazis and murdered. Most of us read her diary in school. How did the Germans find all the Jews in Holland so easily? They kept really good records. The Germans and the Dutch keep really good records. Well, these are really good records on us. So, yes, it sounds good to be, we're safe, we're protective. What happens when the government goes to Google and wants this shit? Do they want information on you? Are you okay with that? Could it be used against you? These are questions that people are asking because we know that from past experiences that Google, Facebook are more than willing to let the government molest the information that they have on you. TikTok, which we know is a Chinese company, has admitted to tracking journalists on TikTok to see what's been said about TikTok. So this shit, foreign spying, our government looking in on you. You know, what happens when you're, what if you're a young woman, you travel to another state, you get an abortion? What happens when that camera image of you going into that abortion clinic goes back to your government in whatever state you live in, which is a ban on abortion, and you get arrested for that?
This is a bad movie, man. This is a bad movie.
It was a bad movie starring Will Smith back in the 90s. It's coming true today. So, I mean, we just have to, as a society, this is the deal we're making. And it's potentially going to come back to haunt you. I mean, look, does the Capitol riot happen in a world of facial recognition, and everyone knows if they know who I am, my picture's taken, as soon as I get off the plane, I'm going to be arrested. Does that happen? I don't know. And if it doesn't happen, is that a good thing? But this is the deal with the devil that we're making. and it's going to happen in corporate level. Look, I love going to Europe and just walking through the border. It's like my passport, face recognition, like bye, you're good. I enjoy that, but I also realize that could be bad. Like, maybe what if I vote for the wrong person? What if I accidentally walk in a protest somewhere and I'm labeled as a protester for this thing that I don't even support? So good luck, people. Chad and I are middle age. We probably won't see the dystopian horror that is 1984 that's coming down the pike. But yeah, it's kind of a scary world that we're going into. But on that note, let's talk about some more scary shit after the break. Relationships, maybe our species just going straight to hell. We'll be right back.
You're looking for a quality video production provider? Look no further. My name is Sergey and I own Beverly Production. We are a video production agency from Ukraine. We help entrepreneurs to create credible online, offline podcasts and clips that drive interest, to promote your podcast. As a podcaster myself, I early realized that there are not that many podcasts that put an emphasis on quality and creativity, just making your videos look really, really cool. That's why we mix our videos up with different visual aids, sound effects, flashy transitions. We do dynamic switching and other cool creative things that just set apart your podcast from your competition. You can check our samples on the website, and we also help people to post the videos. So we take over YouTube management, and we can also run TikTok and LinkedIn for you. So if you're interested in something of this kind, don't hesitate to book a call with me. The contacts are available on the website. Thanks a lot.
Well, Chad, I don't know if you've noticed, but robot love has been in the news a lot lately. One TikTok user was trending for the post, quote, "Another lonely night. I decided to give Replica," that's Replica with a K, "a try." If you don't know what Replica is, it's kind of an automated girlfriend, boyfriend. Back to her quote, "Now I have the sweetest AI boyfriend who sends me good morning texts and makes me feel special every day," end quote. Plus, Chad, breakups are happening. Thanks to robot love via text and other means, relationships are ending. What do you make of this growing scary trend in robot love?
Yeah, I think we're already having issues with young men who aren't having sex. They're behind their Xboxes or whatever gaming system. They're glazed over, and the ones who do obviously are not having great communication with their fiancés or their girlfriends or what have you. There was another Reddit thread of a young 26-year-old female who had one of these AI boyfriends, and she had a fiance. Well, she talked to her AI boyfriend more than she did her fiance. As a matter of fact, she started literally having more time and wanting to spend more to talk about more things with the AI boyfriend than her fiance. Well, fiance found out about it and called everything off. Right? It's not a physical attraction or problem at that point, but it doesn't matter, right? It all comes together when we're taking a look at AI, because if you're not getting what you want, then you might have this little AI thing who can send you texts every morning. Well, how about go to a fucking therapist instead? I mean, we are leaning way too hard, if you're watching on YouTube, on this phone, right? And we're not leaning hard enough on humanity and being able to work things out with each other. And it's not easy. I mean, I'm in a marriage, you're in a marriage. They're never perfect, but we try to work toward getting them better, right? Because, this is a commitment that we made to each other. And sometimes it doesn't work out. I totally get that. But, you get to work on it. And it seems like this is like the easy button that people don't have to work on it anymore, right? I get exactly what I want, and I can go along about my life until we don't have any more humans because we're not breeding. So, yes, very dystopian, Sorry about the dystopian, last part of the show, kids. But this AI shit is it's facial recognition, AI boyfriends. It's scary shit. It's weird.
You said lean harder twice. I appreciate that.
What are you doing, step bro?
Look, sometimes on this show we veer off the beaten path of employment and companies and hiring. This has impact on, if not the current workforce, the future workforce. Mm-hmm. We have 10% of men who are just checking out, who are just saying, I don't want to work. I want to Xbox or whatever all day. I don't relationships. That affects the workforce. If 10% of men are like, I'm out of the game, that impacts our hiring for sure. Being happy in a relationship affects how we are at work. If we're all unhappy, that's a problem. I mean, just like companies today have childcare and maybe marital support or therapy that you can go to, will workplaces of the future have replica romance that you can opt into and then have someone say good morning to you via text every morning? Like, these are things that impact the workforce. I mean, look, men want sex, women want attention, okay? Men can get sex.
I think they want sex too.
But I mean, like, if we're looking at the equivalent, and I may get canceled for this, but women get mass attention on social media. It sexualizes their content so they get more attention. Now you can buy, good morning, sweetheart. You look beautiful. How was your day? They can automate that now. Men have view porn. They're going to get sex robots soon. They're going to get VR girlfriends. And then we have a dating world where 80% of the men are invisible to women, right? They're not getting swiped right at all. So that leads to the I'm out. Nobody likes me. Nobody thinks I'm attractive. I'm out. We have 20% of the men that can access all the women. So, like, the world is good for them. And then you have the higher echelon women who it's hard to connect with because women date laterally and up. So the men are like, I don't want to get too complicated, but it's all out of whack. Dating, how it used to be, was like you had to meet someone that you may not be attracted initially, but, oh, they're kind of funny. They have some quirks. They like the same bands that I do. Like, there are things you can learn that you can't just learn by looking at them and swiping left or right. So we're in a real quandary here in terms of robots taking relationships. We're not having as many kids. Government entitlements are going to be out of whack because there's not going to be the tax base to support older people. Like, these are real issues. It's going to hit Italy, Germany, Japan, who are not having enough children. So these are all things on your taxes as a company, your hiring, what kind of support you give employees. All these things are important, which is why we bring them up on the show. In addition to being great fodder for dad jokes. You ready for your dad joke of the week, Chad?
Oh, no. Oh, not again. Yes, go ahead. Yes, I've got a separate one.
You know you love it, baby. You know you love it. Hold on. Okay. What does a robot do at the end of a one-night stand? What does a robot do at the end of a one-night stand?
Shut down.
He nuts and bolts. He nuts and bolts. And with that, Chad, I will see you in Nebworth. We out.
We out.
Thank you for listening to, what's it called? A podcast. The Chad. The Cheese. Brilliant. They talk about recruiting. They talk about technology. But most of all, they talk about nothing. Just a lot of shout-outs of people you don't even know. And yet you're listening. It's incredible. And not one word about cheese. Not one. Cheddar. Blue. Nacho. Pepper Jack. Swiss. So many cheeses and not one word. So weird. Anywho, be sure to subscribe today on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That way you won't miss an episode. And while you're at it, visit www.chadcheese.com. Just don't expect to find any recipes for grilled cheese. It's so weird. We out!